Yo, check it out, check it out. Live and direct, Norfolk, Virginia in the building. Virginia Beach, Tidewater, the whole shit. Dopest channel on YouTube. Yo, Banky Pound, what's up, man?
What's good, Sean G? What's happening, man? You said you was gonna pull up on me and you pulled up on me.
Hey, yo, I hit you on the FaceTime, on the Instagram.
For sure.
You picked it up.
Yes, sir.
You picked up the FaceTime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said, yo, Bank, me and Lil Sean, we rolling back through from Charlotte. I want to let's do something, because I've been following you for a minute.
Vice versa, vice versa.
And my man picks up the FaceTime, calls me back, said, yo, Sean, send me the hotel address. I'm coming through. And you said you did what your mouth said you was going to do.
For
and
sure.
Showed up.
For sure. You got to do what you say you're going to do. You got to stand on what you say you stand on, man. And most definitely it's an honor and a pleasure. I definitely wanted to meet you. You know, like I say, we've been corresponding back and forth for a minute, you know, through our mutual friend, El Ross.
Shout out to El Ross.
Shout out to El Ross, my dude. Je ne sais quoi. First dude hit me in my P.O. box when I came home from this incarceration, so big love to him. But yeah, man, I definitely wanted to get with you. I see what you're doing, man. I rock with what you're doing. I like the movement, you know, the working out, the fit over 50. I like also the good knowledge, the good jewels you be dropping. I be watching you on Instagram as well. You drop them good jewels everywhere you go. And most definitely it's a meeting that had to happen, man. It's a pleasure.
Now, Bank, check it out. Where you from, man?
I'm from D.C. and I reside.
Born in D.C.?
Born in D.C., reside in Virginia. I used to be back and forth. Had a lot of family in Virginia, but D.C. is homeland.
How old are you?
I'm 55, getting ready to be 56, man.
What year you was born?
1966.
What hospital?
Washington General.
In D.C.?
In D.C.
Southeast?
Southeast.
Okay. How long you stayed in D.C.?
I stayed in D.C. I think I moved to Virginia when I was 17.
So you a D.C. nigga, really?
D.C. to the heart, man. That's hometown, Chocolate City.
So, two-parent household?
Nah, my father was from D.C. as well, but he ended up migrating to New York. By the time I was 13, my father he got killed in New York, so didn't have a lot of time with my father. You know what I'm saying? Before he passed.
Okay.
You know, more or less raised by my uncles.
Elementary school in D.C.?
No, I went to elementary school in D.C. and I went to school in Virginia. I went a couple of years in D.C., went to Fletcher Johnson, that's in D.C., but I went to school in Virginia as well. I went a couple of years in Virginia, a couple of years in D.C., but graduated, went to H.D. Woodson. That's in D.C. That's the same school Byron Leftwich came from.
Man, shout out to H.D. Woodson and Fletcher Johnson.
Fletcher Johnson.
Man, shout out to Fletcher Johnson, H.D. Woodson. So you graduated high school?
Yeah, I graduated high school.
You was in the Little League sports, anything
man,
like that?
Man, I was in the sports like I don't know what, man. I played football, man, believe it or not.
What position?
I played quarterback.
Quarterback?
Little bitty dude like me played quarterback, man, but I had a good arm. I had good, you know, I used to play running back all through my younger years, but as I got older, everybody was trying to be a running back, so I wanted to be different. I started learning how to throw the ball. So by the time I was in the 10th, 11th grade, man, I switched my position to a quarterback. I loved it. I was doing good, man. I even had some offers to go to college and everything, even at my height.
Out of high school?
Yes. I went on recruiting Johnson to Virginia Tech before I ended up getting incarcerated. I went to Virginia Tech.
Blacksburg, Virginia.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Went to Virginia State. You know, went and looked at Norfolk State. I had a good high school football career, man, back in the day.
What's your real name?
My real name, I don't really say it.
Check them out, y'all.
I don't really say it, but I can assure you it's not this dude that everybody say on, what's his name, Tyson Xavier Golden or whatever his name. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I didn't get my real name was because when I first started, the first video that I ever did on this YouTube thing was on the other show, APS. Shout out to APS.
Shout out to APS.
Yeah,
man.
Joe. I started the video out, Joe set me down. He said, just go ahead and tell the people who you are and what you do and, you know, give them a little background and talk. So I sat down and I started the video off. I said, look, my name is said my real name. That's the only time he stopped the video. So I said, what's up? He said, don't say your real name, man. He said, because you say your real name, you don't know where it's going to go. He said, I know you don't know nothing about this social media. He said, but these people get to reaching out to your family, your kids. They, you know, they do a lot of stuff. He said, so go by the name that everybody know you by. And Banky is my real name because I've been called Banky since I was 3 years old.
My man.
You know, that's what my family know me by. That's what my friends know me by. That's what everybody know me by.
My man, we're gonna leave it at that.
For sure.
Now, Bank, you get out of high school, 17, 18. What kind of student was you coming through elementary, middle school, high school?
I was a good strong C, sometime a B.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't really apply myself the way I should have, but you know, like I say, that's being young, not really knowing, you know, what you should be really giving all your attention and energy to. All my attention and energy was in boxing, man, and football, you know, and a little bit running the streets.
Okay, so you graduate high school.
For sure.
What happens after that?
Man,
What year you come out of high school?
I came out in '85.
All right.
But
middle of the '80s.
Yeah,
rough.
Rough. I should have, and this, you know, this is a testament to all the young fellas out there. You know, I should have entertained, you know, the offers to go to school. I think that would have changed my life. You know what I'm saying? But listening to other people, not really being an independent thinker, thinking for yourself, I started looking at other options, man. I was boxing as well, so I'm thinking about the money. You know what I'm saying? You can get the money in the boxing, you know, and that was probably, looking back now in retrospect, man, probably the worst mistake I ever made, because even though I love boxing, even though I felt like I could have got somewhere with boxing, it allowed me and afforded me too much time, leisure time, to be in the streets. Whereas if I would have been in college, I would have been in an environment that breeded, you know, knowledge, that breeded, you know, that type of camaraderie. But by you being in the streets and you trying to box, you just going to practice, you training, you working out. All the other time you by yourself. That left me too much time to be running the streets, hanging with people I shouldn't have been hanging with, and getting
in DC.
In DC, man, and getting caught up in a lot of foolishness that I shouldn't have. The dude that I was hanging out with when I finished school, that I really started getting, you know, going left with, was from New York. He had moved to New York. Probably in my 11th grade year, man. He had moved from New York to DC, and more or less he became my best friend, man. And we was hanging out a lot, man, in Georgetown, and doing a lot of foolishness, man. And you know,
Being a young dude.
Yeah, man. You know, and he had a pops that he didn't like, and it was a step pops, man. And step pops was actually a professional bodybuilder. But man, we used to steal his car, man, when he was gone, and ride all up Georgetown and do all types of foolishness. And you know, when we weren't doing that, we catch the metro up there, man. And then, yeah, man, when he stole his gun one day, he took his pistol, man, and we was trying to get home. We had no money, man, and we ended up pulling a robbery, and that was it. Once I started doing that, and from my point of view, looking at it as a young adolescent that I was looking at it like it was free money. Wasn't nobody getting hurt. You scam people and taking their money. So to me, it was like free money, man. And we got into that, man. And that's how I started in the spiral that ended up, you know, eventually putting me in prison.
When did you catch your case? Obviously you caught a Virginia case.
Yeah, because all the foolishness that me and him was doing up there had a lot of people looking for us. So he ended up getting towed off for some other stuff, and when his people finally bonded him out, they sent him back to New York. So I never even saw him no more. I haven't even seen him to this day. So I eventually came down to Virginia, and I was down here in Virginia, but I brought that same habit down here with me, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up getting towed off. I ended up getting locked up, and I got locked up in the end of '86. By '87, I was in the jail. By '88, I was in prison, man, with 2 life sentences, 115 years.
Your first case?
First case. 115 years, 2 life sentences.
What you charged with?
I was charged with murder, I was charged with robbery, and malicious wound.
Okay. So how old, when you go to court, when you catch this case, how old are you?
20.
20 years old.
20 years old. I think before I went to prison, I think I turned 21 in the jail before I went to prison. But I was in the jail at 20.
All right. So the day you go for sentencing, you standing there in the courtroom, you had a paid lawyer or you had a public defender?
Both.
Okay. You go for sentencing, what did the judge, what's his exact words to you?
I I can't remember his exact words, but I remember them numbers. You know, I remember the guilty. I think
you went to trial?
I went to trial. I went to trial. I went for the murder trial first, and I got found guilty. I think he gave me 97 years. He gave me 97 years and 5 for the gun or something like that. So I'm like shocked, you know what I'm saying?
Drunk.
Yeah, I'm super drunk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like super drunk. I'm like 90-something years. And I'm looking at him, I'm 20 years old, 90-something years. I'm like, people don't even live that long. I'm like, because I ain't understand the system. I ain't understand none of that. So I'm drunk, man. I'm thinking about, can't we appeal this? Or like, you know, lawyers, what y'all do? Y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, what's going on? So, yeah, I'm super drunk, man. And then that's when all the politics came into play. They turned around after that and came to me in Virginia at the time. They was starting this 3-strike law. So they was saying like if you get three charges of the same caliber, like a violent charge or anything like that, then you will fall up under the 3-strike law where you can't get out. So whatever time you got, you can't get out. So my lawyers is telling me like, well, you already got 90-something years. So if you get found guilty of this robbery or anything like that, then whatever they give you is going to go on top of this 97 years.
Consecutive.
And you never going to get out. So they came to me with some plea bargain stuff, telling me to take a plea bargain. If I don't take the plea bargain, then I won't get out ever. But if I take the plea bargain, I got a shot to get out. So I'm asking them what the plea bargain is, and they talking about life sentences. And in my mind, I'm thinking life sentences, how is that a plea bargain? And how can I get out with life sentences? Because I'm not knowing the system and I'm green. So I'm thinking in my mind that life sentence mean you ain't getting out. So he trying to explain to me that that's not the case. He said, man, they give you a life sentence, 2 life sentences, whatever in Virginia, then you know the life sentence eclipses everything. So you're gonna go up for parole in 12 years regardless. You know what I'm saying? So he said if you take the plea bargain, you adduct the no parole jump. And you'll go up for parole in 12 years. You're a first-time offender, you've never been in trouble, you know, you probably make it. You go in there, you keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble. All these things is lies. All these things is impossibilities. It's impossible to be in prison and keep yourself out of trouble anyway, because trouble gonna find you. That's number one. Number two, I never went up for parole in 12 years. I ended up going up for parole the first time 18 years later. Yeah, so everything that was told to me that made me do what I did, you know, was fictitious. And I'm finding that out now. And even more so, that law that they came out with, the 3-strike law, they're just now, to this day, 2022 or either 2021, they're just revising that law to find out that the law was misappropriated for the whole time, because they was giving dudes that, and dudes is getting out now for that. But after they done did decades in prison, they was applying the law, whereas if you had 3 charges of the same caliber like I did, the law was not written that way. So they misappropriated the law all this time. The law was meant to say, if you go to jail or prison for a charge of this caliber, you get out, come back, get another one, come back for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
They didn't follow the rules of that law, man, and it cost a lot of people decades in prison. So when you look at that in retrospect, I took the plea bargain under false pretenses, because I wasn't facing never getting out. Who knows whether I would have beat them cases or not? You don't even know, but this is how the law is, man. So that's why I always preach, you know, on my channel or whatnot, man. You know, the more you know, the further you go, man. And prison is just it's a business. It's like everything else, man. It's a business.
To them people,
absolutely. Yeah, right. They make their living off of your misery. They make their living off of your mistakes. You see what I'm saying? But everything we do out here is going to be a choice, man. So we conduct all of that by the choices that we make. You know, and like I say, misinformed people. And I was misinformed when I was young, and I paid the price for it 33 years later, which didn't even have to get here. I didn't even have to get out, you know what I'm saying, because I had life sentences. They never had to give me parole. That's not even counting the things that you got to go to make it through them 33 years. So everything that I went through, man, was for a reason. I'm out here for a reason. And I'm trying to educate these people, man, and let them know, man, don't throw your life away. Don't be tricked. Don't be bamboozled. Don't be flim-flam out of getting off of these streets.
Don't be a follower.
Don't be a follower. You got to be a leader. You got to be an independent thinker. I don't care who telling you anything that may sound good, everything sound good, ain't good, because only you gonna pay the price for whatever you do. You gonna be the only one sitting in that cell. You understand what I'm saying? And I just talked to some kids yesterday, man, and I was just telling them, I try to talk to them depending upon the age group that I'm talking to. I try to talk to them in a way that they understand. And like I let them know, why won't you listen to your parents? These are the people that have shown and proved that they love you. These are the people that provide for you. These are the people that has your best interests at mind. But when we're young, we always look at them as, authority figure opposed to someone that really got our best interests at mind. And we go out there in them streets and we listen to people who don't care what happens to us. So I tell dudes now, man, if you get in any type of trouble, where you know you need help, where you know you need assistance, who you gonna call? I'm gonna call my mom, I'm gonna call my dad, I'm gonna call my grandma. That's who you should be listening to. Them dudes that you listen to on the street, when you get in trouble and you call them, man, they gone. I did 33 years in prison, and ain't now dude that I hung out with rode that bit with me. Now one of them. But every time I called my mom, she was dead. Every time the visiting doors open, my mom was dead. So who I should have listened to? My mom. That's who you should listen to. The people that got your best interests in heart. That's who you listen to, man.
Now, Bank, you get them 97 joints, he tell you 97. You leave the court, you go back there to the holding cell. What's on your dome, man? I mean, how do you feel, man?
Man, to be honest, man, I was kind of like numb. I couldn't comprehend it. Dudes in there that already been in jail, they trying to tell me, no, shawty, you ain't got to do all that. What that means is you got to do about this. But the numbers they throwing out still don't, I'm 20. You talking about, man, you probably ain't got to do nothing like 18. I'm like, 18 years? Man, you talk like that's 18 days, 18 years? That's 2 years of my existence. You see what I'm saying? I'm 20. You talking about 18 years? So I was drugged, man. I was super drugged.
Now, Bank, talk about that day when you wake up in there and you realize, like, yo, I done fucked up, man.
Yeah, that was before that was before I even went and got the 90-some years, because just to wake up in that jail, man, and have to eat the way you gotta eat, have to sleep the way you gotta sleep, have to deal with people that you might not even want to deal with. I'm around all these Bammers, and I mean, it's just like you're already irritated, you frustrated, and you regretting everything you do. And I say that a lot too on my joint, man. I be telling, I don't know one person, and I mean this sincerely, I don't know one person in prison that ain't trying to get out.
Talk to them, man.
They all trying to get out, so I don't understand why I got out here now and I see all these things, all these shooters, man. Senseless shooters, dudes shooting dudes because they beefing, shooting dudes because you in a different gang, robbing people, carjacking. I just don't get it, bro, because when you get in there, I promise you, with every breath in my body, my dude, you're going to regret everything you've done. You're going to want to take it all back. You're going to want to say, man, I should have did this. But it's going to be too late. Because once you cross over that threshold, them people ain't going to let you go till they let you go. And then it's your job to get to that release date, which just might not happen. I know dudes that came in prison with 1 year got killed. I knew dudes that came in there with 4, 5 life sentences still in there 40, 50 years later. See what I'm saying? So it ain't no guarantee, man. Once you got to do what you got to do now while you out here in this free world. I don't care if you broke. I don't care if you ain't got no job.
Still winning.
Yeah, you winning, man. You winning because you can wake up every day and change those circumstances. You are not afforded that in prison. You gonna wake up every day and do whatever's on the agenda that them people got on the agenda.
So Bank, I know it didn't take 33 and a half years. I know it didn't take 32. How far into your bed did you decide when you sat with yourself and said, yo, if I get up out of here, I ain't doing nothing else to put myself in here, man?
I would say that's a good question. I would say I thought about that question before. Like, if I'd have got out, if I would have caught a 5-year bid or something like that, would I would have probably reoffended or did some stupid stuff. And I can't say that for sure, but I know for a fact, after a decade,
after you had this done, If they would have cut you loose,
they would have cut me
you
loose.
was through.
I'm good and through.
So you suffered another 20 calendars knowing that you wasn't going to live that kind of life no more.
Absolutely. And there's dudes in there right now
Check them out, y'all.
suffering 30, 40 years later that I know. I know because once you've been around people like I have, like dudes, excuse me, I consider myself to be an expert on men because I've been around men for 12,345 plus days consecutive, every day, no break.
You talking about body language,
Eye contact,
behavior,
personality, behavior patterns, language, everything that they do. I can be around a dude for 10 minutes, and in my mind, I done already determined what type of dude he is, whether he's solid, whether he faking, whether he pretending, whether he a wannabe, whether he has been. I can determine all of that just because of the amount of men that I've been around from all walks of life, all creeds, all colors, all nationalities. I've been around them all every day of my life. You know what I'm saying? So I know who's gonna come out here and do right. And I would consider myself very rarely to be wrong. I know who's had enough. I know who's got the picture. You see what I'm saying? Now they got some dudes in there, of course, that I feel ain't gonna never do right because that's in their character, that's engraved in their heart. But you got some dudes in there, man, that's doing hard time right now, that's stuck because they made a bad decision out here and put themselves in a bad situation, not knowing the count. Because everybody know when you're doing wrong. I don't care who you is. Once you 10, you know what you're doing wrong. You just don't know the consequences. See, that's where you being misled at. You thinking, because when you young, all the problems you get in, mom and dad get you out of. Yeah. So you have already been brainwashed to believe that whatever I get into, mom and dad gonna get me out of. But you not knowing that mom and dad can't get you out of everything. See what I'm saying? You not knowing that, and ain't nobody telling you that. And I say this all the time, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. One of the biggest things that we do a disservice to our children is, and it was done to me, is when we say to them, don't do that, and they say why, and we say because I say it so, and leave it at that. No, nah, you got to tell them the why. You got to give them the why, because if you don't give them the why, they're gonna go out on the street and get the why, and the why ain't gonna equal your why. You see what I'm saying? Oh man, they don't know what they talking about. Yeah, come on, do this. Yeah, man, come on, look. That's why we got to stop dictating and start talking to our kids, man. We dictate to our kids. That's in our culture, man, because of the way we was brought there. We tell them something and we expect them to do it. If they don't do it, then we whoop them. No, we got to start talking to them. We got to start educating them. We got to start giving them the why. No, don't do it because, look, you can end up in jail. You can end up dead. You can end up like this. This can happen. That, we got to give them that why, man. Because if not, they're going to go out there and try to seek it elsewhere. So we want to give them, like I say, misinformed people. So we want to give them the proper information. We want to give them the best tools to go out there and navigate their way through life. If we not giving it to them, somebody else going to give it to them.
Yo, Bank, what was the spiritual awakening, the spiritual experience of them 33 and a half calendars, man? And why did you change? Why are you doing what you do? Why are you showing love now? Why are you trying to help?
And this is a part of my philosophy too. I always say that, you know, they throw that word around a lot, haters or whatnot, but in my opinion, when you go through something and it's so traumatizing or horrific or bad, and you feel like it was such a struggle for you to get to it, or get through it, I feel like a hater, if that's what you want to call him, he's so, you know, caught up in what he went through, he want to sit back and watch somebody else go through. I feel a real dude, man, is going to say, man, I went through that. I don't want to see nobody else go through that. And that's why I tried to educate. That's why I tried to help, because I went through a lot, you know what I'm saying? And why wouldn't I tell the next brother so he won't go through it? See, certain people, they got that mentality that, oh, I went through it, I want to see if he can make it through. Oh, you can't do, you know, we got to get out of that, bro. We got to get out of that, man. When you know better, you do better. You see what I'm saying? When you know better, you do better. I wouldn't even want to see people that I might consider that I don't like or dislike or my enemy go through what I went through. Because I know what it is, and I know it's a business. It's not about what you did that they're punishing you for. It's about a business. You see what I'm saying? So I know that. And I know that when you go in there, man, you ain't guaranteed to come out, bro. I tell people all the time, there's only one way to guarantee when you go in prison that you coming out. Only one way known to man. That's just don't go. Other than that, all bets is off. All bets are off, man. Everything happens in there. Everything. Everything. And if you give up this free world out here to go in there because somebody told you this, somebody misled you, somebody put a battery in your back, somebody convinced you that you could get rich fast, somebody convinced you could be a kingpin, then you's an idiot. You's an idiot. It's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that because everybody in there, like I say, trying to come out. And if you feel like you're a square because you're going to work, or you feel like you're a square because you're taking care of your kids, or you feel like you're a square because, you know, your job is at McDonald's or you working, man, you working. You free. You out here. All them cats that I'm talking about right now will take your job. Take your squareness. Beg for your squareness.
And take $5 an hour off of your
or
salary,
less.
and take half your salary.
Believe that. Man, I worked in there for 33 years for 45 cents, man. 45 cents. And let me tell you something. Was glad to get it. Was glad to get it, man. So, you know, you winning if you out here, man. You only losing when you let somebody convince you that you're not. You know what I'm saying? I know that times get hard out here. Trust me, I've been out here 2.5 years, man. Everything ain't gravy, but I ain't crying. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gravy to that. It's gravy to what I left behind. You see what I'm saying? The grind hard, the grind real, but hey, I'm free. I'm out here. I can make change, man. And I would never, you know, go down a road and see a dead end sign and turn around and come out that road and see somebody coming and not pull them over and say, ain't nothing down there, bro, turn around. See what I'm saying? That's what I do. You know, that's what a real brother would do. See what I'm saying? Irregardless of what I want, irregardless that I wasted my time driving all the way, then why I'm gonna waste somebody else's time when I can just open my mouth and give them that knowledge? Why would I do that? See what I'm saying? That's something you gotta look into yourself. Who are you? That's the character of a man. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what I went through. If I went through it and got through it and I can stop somebody else just by opening my mouth, then that's what I'm gonna do. That's what you supposed to do.
Banky Pound, Banky Pound, Banky Pound. Hottest man, one of the hottest dudes on YouTube at the moment. Banky, give me your YouTube, your Instagram, and all that, man.
Yeah, man, I'm on Banky Pound YouTube, man. 33 years of prison stories. Go in, tap in with me, come over there. We selling cooking joints. We got Banky Pound, pure deliciousness, where I'm whipping up all that good food. Ain't no such thing as prison food. You ain't never went in the store nowhere in your life and seen a label say prison food is food that you make in prison. You understand me? So, yeah, I whips it up and it's real good. It's pure deliciousness. I got Instagram. You can find me on there on Boxing Bank, you know, on Instagram. I do have a Facebook, but what I wouldn't advise you to go to it because I'm not fluent on there. I'm getting ready to start a workout channel. You know, I'm trying to get up like my man Sean G. Y'all gonna see some more collabos because I got to get him to come over there and work out with me. And my man L. Raw. I'm also getting ready to start a podcast with my soldier Troy Catchmore. We're gonna start a podcast real soon called Living Life After Life. We both did life sentences and we out here living life, trying to give back, trying to guide the youth in the right direction. So we're gonna be doing that real soon too, man. So tap in with me over there on Banky Pound, Team Banky Pound Management on Instagram as well when you want to reach out to me. Speaking engagements, anything y'all want to do, man, tap in with me because we're going hard in 2022 and beyond.
Hey, man, all them links going to be underneath this video, man. Yo, Banky, man, I appreciate you, man.
No doubt, man. It's an honor and a pleasure. And just, I want to say this to you on camera as well. You know, just like I said, man, I know the character of a man within 10 minutes, man. So I already know you solid. It's an honor. It's a pleasure, man. And I was honored, man, to come out here and meet you, my dude.
Likewise.
For sure, for sure.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.